Ladies and gentlemen, we're back in the dojo talking about District 9. Here with my boy Tails. Tails, what we drinking tonight?
Hey Toast, we are drinking a single malt Scotch whiskey, 12-year aged.
Goddamn straight. 12 years. Fuck that 5-year and under shit. That's for goddamn Gentiles. First and foremost, back of the book. From producer Peter Jackson, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and director Neil Blomkamp comes a startling original science fiction thriller that soars on the imagination of its creators. Peter Travers, Rolling Stone. With stunning special effects and gritty realism, the film plunges into a world where the aliens have landed, only to be exiled to a slum on the fringes of Johannesburg. It's in South Africa, motherfuckers. Now, one lone human discovers a mysterious secret of the Oh, shit, hold on. No, keep going. Yeah. Only be exiled with the slums of the fringes of Johannesburg. Now, one lone human discovers the mysterious secret of the extraterrestrial weapon technology. I got tripped up on extraterrestrial. Hunted and hounded through the bizarre back alleys of an alien shantytown, he will discover what it means to be the ultimate outsider on your own planet. Thoughts, Taylor? What's happening?
I'm actually a big fan of this movie.
Huge fan.
It's been a long time out, and I haven't seen it yet. I'm a big sci-fi nut, and a lot of people keep telling me to watch it, and I just hadn't seen it yet. I bought it a long time ago, but I just haven't watched it. And I'm so glad that we chose to do a podcast on it, because I thought it was excellent.
Mm-hmm. Now, first and foremost, let me talk to something about picture quality. In the form of DVD or Blu-ray. Now, I would always recommend Blu-ray over DVD. The thing is that when you have live action with human beings in conjunction with high-quality CGI films, there gets a little bit of fuckery that happens when you go to Blu-ray. Most popularly known as in Transformers. I hate to fucking reference that shit again. But in Transformers, people said Transformers didn't look real enough. When you have a DVD quality, even a VHS quality, it makes sense. It's more integral to the actual video stuff. I saw this originally on DVD, on the big screen. Shit looked fucking amazing. It was gritty, but it wasn't just gritty as in the type of what you're watching. The film quality has a little bit of grittiness to it, and that was due to the Handycam, aka shaky cam, that was attributed to the movie. But when you get a real fine quality like Blu-ray, shit sometimes just don't make sense.
But I want to say, this movie, I thought everything looked pretty legit. I didn't see any cuts, any seams around the CGI figures and everything like that to where it looked a little bit too out of place or anything.
Okay.
I thought they did a really good job with the CGI. They didn't brighten it up too much. It was a very dark CGI, so that way it blended well with the background. You know, if you look at some of your other movies, Transformers especially, it's really bright. The Transformers themselves are really colored and everything, and you can see the line around them of where the CGI is being taken place and everything like this.
Yeah.
And in this, I felt like they did a pretty good job making it look seamless. You know, it's not 100% seamless, but you're not going to get it with CGI. You're just not.
Right.
But it looked really well done, and overall, I thought the monsters were pretty interesting. The aliens,
Well, they're not monsters. They're immigrants.
Yeah, they're immigrants.
They're immigrants. Let's get that out there. No, but on a serious note, though, you really can't go... You can't talk about this movie without talking about the racial overtones in it in the very opening scene. Yeah. When they're talking about isolation, they're talking about new people. They consider them refugees in today's time when it comes from the Middle East. Mm-hmm. Europe's dealing with all the kind of 40,000 refugees coming to Germany. They're trying to split them all up throughout the EU. That's all fucking fantastic. The thing is that this is the sci-fi version of that. Yeah. All of a sudden, you have 1.8?
Yeah,
1.8 million motherfuckers just drop out of the goddamn sky. You gotta put them somewhere. And what makes it more interesting is that happened in Johannesburg, South Africa. It started in 1982, which is during the time of the apartheid in South Africa. So when you have all that, it's almost like the South Africans, the whites and the blacks, had to be like, hey, let's set our bullshit aside because we got these motherfuckers that just came out of goddamn nowhere. We have no idea what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So they teamed up, which is very interesting to see on a human dynamic to have a third party come in and fuck up their own little quarrels.
Yeah. And I thought it was really interesting of how they did the slums and everything. The slums,
which look like the slums.
The
in
slums,
Africa.
yeah. I mean, they made them look like the slums, which it was. And then they even put in the whole, where the people are mixing with the aliens and making that underground,
Oh yeah, you got the black
markets and everything going on in there.
Corruption. You got motherfuckers.
The cockfights. You had fucking alien cockfights. That was pretty legit.
Which are those like baby aliens? Because like they came out of eggs.
Yeah. I don't know. It didn't really go into that aspect. Maybe they were the chickens of aliens. You know what I mean?
So, I don't know. Yeah. But like, hey, we found these motherfuckers still.
Yeah. But it was definitely pretty interesting on how they brought in the slums and how they basically took the aliens who've been in this spaceship for like 3 months, and then all of a sudden the humans kind of break into the spaceship and find them, and then they just bring them down to Earth and put them into slums and try and unite them with the people, but obviously it didn't work. And then there was the whole race difference of, no aliens over here, stuff like that.
It's fantastic to see, and I think it delivered the message really well about how easily and how fast shit can get crazy.
Yeah.
It really beautifully explains how ghettos exist today amongst humans. They say like, look, whenever you have isolation, poverty, you have no work, shit's gonna happen. And like you have social workers, as the actors in the movie, they explain because they know the history. Like, and then this happens, and you have that, and then this happens. So it's like, it was I wouldn't say refreshing to see, but it's a new way of interpreting a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
Usually it's more like poor people, rich people, smart poor person beats rich people. But in this case, that's just what happened.
Yeah. And it kind of starts you off with this social worker who is at the top of the ladder and everything, and his job is to go serve eviction notices to all of these aliens, to send them to a different slum, different camp that's in worse condition than the one that they are in now. It's smaller, has tents instead of buildings and everything like that, but they're trying to basically move them out of Johannesburg. And, because the people of Johannesburg don't want them there anymore.
Right. In order to make the current citizens happy, they have to move them out.
Yeah.
Get these niggas out of my goddamn property. But it was really reminiscent of just the common Reconstruction era with America, then also the American Indians when it comes to like reservations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I want to touch something real quick when it comes to the first part of the movie, is the value of life. Now, remember when he was serving those eviction notices and they find like the egg house?
Yeah.
And he's just unplugging. He's like, see how they have a cow hung up here and gives all the nutrients? This is fine, yeah. And starts unplugging. And then they set the bitch on fire. He's like, do you hear that popping noise? That popping noise?
It's like popcorn.
Yeah. It's like the little eggs, and then they get hot, and the little babies go, oh, I need to get out of here. So they pop. Like, there was such a devaluation of life by the way he's explaining it, but you don't feel like he's doing anything wrong because he's so uplifting.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah. So I want to touch base on that. What do you think about that, Taylor?
It was a way of them. It was a way for them to control the population, and I don't know. Really, in the way he said it, you feel okay about it. The way they talk about it and everything like that.
You just don't feel bad.
You don't feel bad about it.
But once you realize what the fuck's actually going on, you're like, oh, dude, come on,
that's fucked up. Yeah, and it was really strange for them to do that, and especially when they're serving these eviction notices. But he even says the real point of us out here is to find the guns. It's to find alien weaponry and find the rebel factions and everything like that.
It's a huge allegory of the war on drugs.
Yeah.
Which was like, holy shit, it makes so much sense now. Because he's acting as a reporter, even though he's there for humanitarian reasons. He's like, oh, I've never seen a cache just like this, but he's reporting as a reporter in front of the camera because it's all that handy cam stuff. And I know Tails, you're not a fan of the handy cam /
Not
shaky
really.
cam, but I thought they did a really good job. I think it was more. It comes across a little more on the DVD quality or VHS quality. I think it was too crisp under a Blu-ray. It's just that when you have a handy cam, you can't have crisp handy cam.
Yeah.
Like it's almost, it goes. I hate to say it, it goes hand in hand. That if you're gonna have something that's a point of view or a POV, you can't have fucking 1080p quality. It just makes no sense.
Yeah, it really
especially in '82.
True, and if you're shooting a 1080p handycam and then trying to separate it back into the real camera, shooting the whole concept,
there needs to be that contrast.
There has to be something, it has to go down some quality, or then it doesn't really feel like a separation. I'm not a big fan of handycam, like Toast said. I thought the beginning of this movie was a little much. They keep jumping back and forth from handycam to news reports and this and that. And I get the concept, they're trying to make this a documentary of something that's not real.
Yeah.
They're trying to make a documentary of an alien species.
Yeah.
And, I get it, but at the end, I'm here to watch a sci-fi movie. I'm not here to watch a shaky cam documentary news report of alien species going down. I want to see the aliens. I want to see what they do. I want to see the action and everything. I want to see of the people's view on the aliens. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just another way for the media to be like, oh, look at these aliens. Don't go near them. They're dangerous. Look at them. They're tearing apart a cow. Look at them. They just attacked a social worker.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Aliens. And that's what also brings them back to the slums and everything, and why they can't immigrate into human societies, because the media is telling the humans that you don't want to mix with these people, these aliens. You don't want to be around them. They're dangerous.
Touch them, don't even look at them. Walk the other way. Matter of fact, don't walk the other way. Tell them to walk the other way, because they're beneath you. Because one, you're a human, and they're strangers. But now, when it comes to further along in the movie, one thing that I really think was fascinating was when the homeboy got his arm turned into an alien.
Yeah.
He got sprayed by that shit in the canister, which they never really explain how or why that even happens. But you take it as fact because it's sci-fi. It's a sci-fi movie.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you see, it's like, oh, okay, well, then that makes sense. When he got his arm turned into an alien arm, he gets captured by the G-Man, by the government.
Yeah.
And then nonchalantly, without any backstory about how, where, why, or who is with, experimental testing.
Of course.
Without question.
Oh, yeah.
He goes from point A, oh, my arm's an alien. Point B, but he's tired. You know what I'm saying? He's got that cold sweat going on. And what I think phenomenal acting by him.
Oh, yeah. I want to say that dude was phenomenal.
Everyone else around him was just so nonchalant. And they're just like, sir, okay, please grab the weapon. Oh, the weapon's activated. Like, they were excited from their point of view because they're scientists.
Yeah.
And they should be. They they cracked the reason why these weapons work. Because before they had no idea how they worked.
And
like, well,
now,
I guess these things work, but ugh.
And now, with his DNA and everything, they could use these weapons in warfare.
Right.
That was the biggest thing, is they finally have a reason or a way to use these weapons against other humans.
And the thing is that these weapons don't just throw peas. They don't just throw metal around. These motherfuckers been in space and time and fuck up everything.
Yeah, I want to go about and say that the weapons in this movie were fucking great.
Oh, the people who designed is like, hey, I need go ahead, give me 5 weapons. Make it 6. I wanted to mainstream 6 weapons in this movie. You guys go. And they're like, well, we all just got done playing Borderlands, so
yeah,
let's use those weapons. Like, the weapons were phenomenal.
Yeah, they took weapons straight out of video games.
Oh, and they had that close-up on the weapon when the guy was pointing at his face, and it was like a heat. Had imagine a circle.
Like sonar.
With a bunch of mini little blowtorches blown outward from the circle. But then being sucked back in.
And all it did was like shot a blast of air.
Yeah, it shot a blast of air. There was no flame involved with it, but it was was beautiful.
Yeah.
I loved it.
They did a really good job with the weapons. I felt like, I just got done playing Ratchet and Clank and everything, and these weapons really felt like they came right out of Ratchet and Clank. The Tesla coil and everything like that, where he's shooting those beams of electricity that just exploded people.
Oh, man.
They exploded. Awesome.
And I like there's one scene in there that really kind of hits, I wouldn't say hits home, but really makes it imperative of how these people are as scientists, how they take themselves professionally, is when they shot this motherfucker with a beam of electricity. When they finally got the gun to work, blew this motherfucker up in an instant, and like everyone got blood on them. And they were like, huh, holy shit, that's what that gun does.
Yeah.
Like they weren't like, oh, what a tragedy. But the only guy that really was fucked up by it was homeboy that had the alien arm.
Yeah. They had tested 3 or 4 different weapons on pigs, dead pigs, and then finally they bring in one of the aliens, and he's like, no, I'm not going to shoot him, I'm not going to shoot him, I'm not going to shoot him, and then blows him apart and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's, right before this scene where they're testing these weapons, they kind of like pull him through this experimental lab where they've been testing all those aliens and everything. And, he realizes as a social worker, he knows that he thinks...
Well, it's bullshit.
He thinks negative about these aliens. He doesn't think they're superior or anything, but he also doesn't think that they should be experimented on and tested on and tortured and everything like that. And when they pull him through that lab, it kind of brings home to him where he's like, this is fucked up. These guys are doing some fucked up shit.
Oh, and then there's a moment where the homeboy with the alien arm, and then an alien that he gets befriended by, goes through that same facility, and he's just fucking heartbroken.
Yeah.
And it really humanizes the alien.
Yeah.
Like, for the first time, you really just see human behavior. You're like, oh, they riot. Like, well, we riot. Oh, they do this. Oh, they trade guns. They fucking eat cat food. I have no idea, which I like. They don't explain anything about it.
But I thought it was interesting.
These motherfuckers like cat food. For some reason, they like cat food.
Yeah.
But when they go through that facility, and he's like, what the fuck is this place? And he's speaking in an alien language, which you read in the subtitles. But when he goes through that little facility, it really humanizes him because you see the alien heartbroken.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you see another creature's heart, that's when you really start to empathize with the individual.
Yeah.
No matter what it is.
Yeah. It's true.
In this case, an alien from an unknown planet. They don't explain it either, which I like.
Yeah. And I want to go and say that the main homeboy, the one who gets the alien arm and starts transforming and everything, does superior acting in this movie.
Oh, superb. Superb.
He's great. He's scared the whole time. He's shaking and everything. He freaks out well when he escapes and he's running to District 9 and everything. Yeah. And, he's trying to hide his arm, but he's also trying to get food and everything. He does a really, really great job at being literally terrified for his life. His arm has changed into an alien arm. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's fucked up. And, it does a really good job of playing that role. And then later on, he meets up with this alien named Christopher, who had made the canister that had splashed the alien ooze all over the dude to transform his arm. He met that dude, and he realizes that they were trying to fuel a ship to get back to the mothership so that they could get off the planet. Because
they're not worried about anything else but to get the fuck out.
Yeah, because now he realizes that there are actually aliens who don't agree with the slums, who don't want to be here. This isn't their planet. They don't want to stay here. They don't want to take over. They just want to get the fuck out. And he kind of meets up with that dude, and guy says he can fix his arm and everything as long as they can get the container and everything. And it was really interesting on their connection, because it wasn't a fluid connection. It wasn't a solid trust. You know what I mean? Between the alien Christopher and then homeboy.
Yeah.
With the arm. They trusted each other to an extent. He wanted his arm fixed, and he was willing to help Christopher get the fluid back to fix his arm. But then later on, once they get it back and everything, and they get to the ship and everything, Christopher goes, it'll take me 3 years to fix your arm.
Yeah.
And he kind of
he ain't got 3 years.
He freaks out and hits Christopher and then hijacks the ship and everything. And that really shows that their trust really wasn't fully there.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
now when we say homeboy, we're meaning the actor Sharlto Copley, same homeboy from the A-Team.
Yeah.
Homeboy that played the antagonist in Old Boy, the new one, the American version. The guy's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah,
so when we say this guy delivers it, he fucking does.
Mm-hmm.
Now, during his entire transformation into becoming alien, there's not really a point where you realize that he understands that like we're all one. There's no like, oh wait a minute, if I can become you, then could you become me? Like there's no give and take. There's no push and pull of understanding that. They're just they both represent life in the universe, which is something that that's part of my wish force.
Yeah.
Like speaking of which, Tails, what else you got for wish force?
Wish force. I don't know. I thought the movie was really well done and everything, but there was a couple of things that kind of pulled me away. At first, the shaky cam at the beginning really bothered me, and I kind of wish that it was more of a solid movie instead of the shaky cam. I can understand and respect what they were trying to do, but my personal opinion, I would have removed that and made it more of a solid movie from one camera angle. Well, not one camera angle, but from one camera instead of adding in the news feeds and the shaky cam and everything like that.
Okay.
And I also wanted more of an interaction with him and a human while he was transforming. He's in that shop where he's trying to buy food.
Yeah.
And they all kind of freak out just because he was on the television and they said that he was having sex with aliens.
That was fucking hilariously clever, by the way.
That was really good on the way.
Partly due to unprotected sex with the alien, and they show him doing like doggy style to an alien with a big sensor side over his dick.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilariously brilliant, and it's a cookie cutter way of defamation from the media side of things.
Yeah. But I kind of wanted more of a interaction with him and a human, just a normal human, and to see how they react from him transforming and everything. Because you can tell by the way he's acting and everything, he's scared shitless.
Right, but there's no one human there to help him.
Yeah.
It's only aliens.
It's only aliens, and I kind of wish, like, maybe...
That alien kind of doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, on his way running away from the humans or something, he kind of met up with somebody...
Like an activist or something.
And I don't really care if they stayed along here or there, but just that human connection between him changing and him scared to shit and not being able to trust anybody, and then one other human, and just to kind of see how that interaction would have gone. I feel like that would have been a good scene. Toast, what do you think your wants would have been?
Well, when it comes to wants, I don't know. Maybe just more hand-to-hand combat, but I might be just a slut for the Bourne Identity trilogy. But when it comes to the oh shit moments, no. I got a bunch of oh shits now.
Oh shit.
One of my oh shits is you have a goddamn mech. They have like mech warriors just walking around that no one can use.
Yeah.
No one can use. They have like personal body armor things. They're like, oh, we'll pay you 100 cans of cat food for a mechanized suit that fucks shit up.
That we can't use.
But they can't use. But they want them. We're talking about the black market. Homeboy ends up getting in it and just starts wrecking shit, which is beautiful. But I wanted to see a little more. Ooh, I guess another oh shit, a real oh shit moment is during that the shaky cam when the guy first gets into the slums, starting to deliver all of the eviction notices. The guy sees. It was like the first gunfight, and the guy's like, the alien. Like the alien gets pissed off about some whatever happened, and then like 300 kicks this motherfucker in the chest, but he kicks him so hard, there's nothing but blood just. He's like, and you just see blood just spurt everywhere. Like that's how strong these people were. I wanted to see more strength from the aliens, because there was a good overtone from the Africans. What was it
Nigerians?
The Nigerians there. They wanted to consume alien body parts, believing that they would get their strength. So I wanted to see more strength that would justify why they want to eat these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Other than that, all I saw was, a nigga got kicked in his chest. That's not really that impressive.
It did feel like the aliens were a little too docile, especially to have the strength and the weaponry that they have.
Mm-hmm.
That they were getting beaten down.
But they seemed emotionally docile, not physically or intellectually.
Agreed. But I feel like even if you're emotionally and intellectually non-docile, then you would have attacked a little bit more and in a more strategic manner. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because, I mean, they're in the slums, and these guys are in just bulletproof vests signing eviction notice with a guy with a shotgun. That's it. He's got one guy with a shotgun. They're serving eviction notices. These guys can kick a dude 40 yards and explode his chest.
His chest.
Just gone. One kick, and they're being, detained by one dude with a shotgun. It just seemed a little bit...
I want to see at least one arm get ripped off.
Now, there was an arm getting ripped off a little bit later, but it was by the mech.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, hey, how you doing? Handshake.
Yeah.
Just rip that motherfucker's arm off. Like, that's what I was, when I come to hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
I wanted to see the strength that they were all talking about, that they want.
Yeah.
Because other than that, they're just tall-ass motherfuckers with claws in their hands.
Mm-hmm. I wish it would have gone, I mean, I understand that these slums have been here for 20 years or so. Because it started in 82.
Yeah.
And it's, got to be in the 2000s.
So you're talking about generations of shit. And a lot of the guys, even the guy that was hooked up with the homeboy that had the alien arm.
Christopher?
He still seemed like a young man, or at least in his mid-30s.
Yeah, he had a kid. He had a little kid.
He's been there for 20 years.
Yeah.
So how does he know all this stuff? So, like, their age, I don't know. It seemed like there was a time fuck-up somewhere that they didn't explain.
Yeah.
But it's comfortable not knowing.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe that's where their docileness came from, the fact that they'd been there for so long. Because they got them off the ship because they were starving.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're dying on the ship.
Like, even if you are starving, you could be a bunch of starving warriors and still be badass.
True.
But these people weren't warriors. So the question is, were they just citizens on a spaceship? Were they, like, we don't know what their roles were in society and their own alienness. So
yeah.
When they crashed, they didn't even really crash land. They just showed up. They didn't really explain why they showed up, which is another part of the ambiguity that I liked. You didn't have to explain everything.
You didn't.
You're just like, oh, fuck, spaceship.
Yeah.
Aliens. But, like, nothing happened for 2 months. We, the humans, had to actually break in to find them.
And they're all starving, and dying, and everything.
Fucking, I no food.
Yeah.
But they weren't thankful.
Didn't really
just like,
seem
who the fuck are these guys?
Yeah.
Like, they're almost just willing to hang out and die, which is fantastic.
But what I want to... They didn't really go into how they understand the aliens. Because apparently they can communicate with the aliens in their alien dialect.
Yeah.
They've been there for 20 years. I get it. I'm sure that there was some sort of... But it didn't seem like there was a gap. It seemed like the main dude understood pretty much everything that he was saying.
Yeah, almost like he understood
almost fluently.
English. Yeah.
It was like...
But once he was becoming more alien, he was more...
Yeah, maybe he understood it a little bit more.
But I don't think it was more of he understood more. I think it was because he was just immersed in that language. He kind of had to understand.
Yeah, it could be.
But you would think you would at least see 1 or 2 professional translators. After 20 years, you would think you'd have a linguist be on, like, one little news clip be like, after several years, we interpreted the language, sound of clicks, grunts, essentially. Based upon the vocal, like, give me a little bit of that.
Yeah.
If it's a science fiction movie, give me some fucking science.
Yeah. But
that's not a hate. It's a simple observation.
Yeah, just an understanding. All in all, I thought the movie was really good. They did
fantastic.
They did a great job with the aliens. They did a phenomenal job with the guns and everything.
Oh.
And I kind of like the fact that they didn't go into the guns too much.
Yeah, they were just there.
But I'm glad that they used them more. Another movie by the same director, Elysium, they failed to do what they did in this movie, which came out afterwards, which I thought was weird. But in Elysium, they used weaponry once, and that was it.
Yeah,
and it was kind of like all the cool shit happened, and then it was done. But in this, they just kept pulling out cool shit all goddamn time.
Yeah,
they were like, new weapon, mech.
Right.
What?
What was really cool is that like a homeboy with the arm was like, "What are you doing?" And the alien counterpart was like, "Making a bomb." But
Making a bomb.
Just like he said it so casually, but since it's in the subtitles, what you hear is like, "I'm making a bomb."
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm making a bomb. So calm the fuck down.
Mm-hmm.
And then blow shit up. It was amazing. Like, it shows the intellect of that kind of creature.
Yeah.
But I do like the fact that they say that our technology is garbage. He's like, you can't use that shit. Throw that shit away. It's human technology. It's shit.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So they're using our scraps to make superior technology, which just means that they're fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to the end of the movie, Tails, when Homeboy starts to come more and more alien, you see him on the goddamn garbage pile. Talk to me, man. It makes me tear up.
At the end of the movie, it was great. And a little bit before we have to go into that, they really turned this guy into an alien extremely well and slow. And it keeps pulling up how long he's been infected. You know, it keeps showing 24 hours after infection, 48 hours after infection, 74 hours after infection, and everything. And they keep pulling that up there. And every time you see it, you look at him and you can notice a little bit more. You know, there's some scenes where he's pulling off his shirt and he's realizing that he's changing and he's freaking out. He does a really good job at that. Closer to the end, you know, as the aliens get back into their spaceship and start to fly away, and he's facing down the main military guy, and you see him laying there. One of his eyes is turned yellow, and his whole side of his body's really kind of morphed, and it looked great. The makeup looked so good.
It's fantastic, dude.
You know, it didn't look out of place. You know, it wasn't like a good straight down the middle mix either. It wasn't a Two-Face looking thing. It was just a blending of human and alien in a very, very good sequence. And then the end of the movie, like Toast is talking about, you see his wife, and she's saying how she had this thing laid at the front of her door, and it was just like a metal flower made out of like scrap metal and everything. And everybody was telling her it's garbage and stuff, but she believed it wasn't.
Yeah, she knew it was something.
And then you see him as a full alien sitting on top of the garbage pile, just shaping metal into little flowers and everything. Great scene. Beautiful scene.
Oh, man. I almost teared up.
Yeah, it was really good. You know, it made you realize that even though he was human and now he's alien, he's still human. You know, He still has emotion. He still has feelings. It's not like he changed into some thing that has no feelings and doesn't give a fuck.
Right. He didn't turn into a monster. He turned into the creature.
Yeah.
With a conscience. Now, what really compels me about that end scene is that you see this alien. You don't know who it is. It's just an alien on a garbage pile. And he's fucking with some shit in his hands. And then when it comes to be a flower, and he holds it up with pride. Like, oh, another flower. Like, he does it, and like, you get it. Like, the motherfucker is thinking about his fucking wife, man. On a garbage pile. As an alien. So it's still him, but then that's when you realize it's Homeboy. And then you realize Homeboy is still Homeboy. He may be an alien, but he's still himself, man.
Mm-hmm.
But when he lifts up that flower and they fucking cut to goddamn fade to black and roll credits. Oh! Nothing more than gravity could have brought the tears from my eyes.
Yeah. And, I mean, it really shows a lot. Especially, I thought the action in this movie was great.
Action was phenomenal.
We went over the weapons and everything, and they were good. But just the scenes, the action scenes were good. Mm-hmm. Especially because you have a guy who's non-military. You know what I mean? And he just got put into this role to where he had to get into the MUN building, or MNU or whatever.
Yeah.
He had to break into that building and then get back with that little container and everything.
Yeah.
And, you know, you see how he's fighting. He's not an action guy. He's just holding his gun out from behind his hiding place and shooting. You know. And that I liked that because it wasn't like he just turned into a badass.
Right. The guy didn't specialize in anything but, I guess, human relations.
Yeah. And and then he gets into that mech suit, and the mech suit, I just have to go and say the mech suit was fucking great.
Yeah, man.
I love
he
the
catches
concept.
that RPG.
And he catches that RPG and everything. And I like how they didn't make the mech suit, once again, he was still just a non-military guy. So when he catches the RPG, it's not like he throws it back at the people and blows them all up or anything.
Right.
He catches it, realizes, holy fuck, and then
I just cut an RPG.
Starts to toss it behind him, but it goes off and blows the whole arm off of the mech suit and everything. And you realize, like...
Well, you'll have that sometimes.
Yeah.
You catch RPGs.
They blow the fuck up.
Right.
And it is definitely an extremely well done movie. I liked it from beginning to end. I liked the concept. I liked the sublime messages with the slums and the concentration camps and everything like that. I thought it was really good and a well done concept for it, and it really brought everything full circle.
Full circle, man. I really enjoyed it. Quality was fucking superb. Acting was on point. I like the way they cut between present and then past, with the past explaining what was either about to happen or did happen in the present, which is what you're about to see. The timeline, the shaky cam, the lighting. Oh, I loved it all. But that end scene, man, I'm telling you, that's what, to me, in my opinion, brings it home. You have anything else to add, Tails?
That is it, Toast.
Well, with that, we're going to go ahead and fade to black and roll credits.